video, we are going to read a book named Good Citizens. So, actually, this looks like this. And I'm going to read two stories today because they are both super short, so we decided to do two of them. The first one is, the first one is Pledge Allegiance. So this story is about being a good citizen and stuff. So you'll see that when you get to the actual part of it. And the other one is, this is a more interesting part, it's called An American Hero Flies Again. So this story is about John Glenn. I guess he's an American hero. I don't know, I'm not living in America, so I don't really know their story. His story, but in here it says he's a hero of science, so I guess that means he's a hero. So this is like he went to space, and he went to space again one more time, and he saved. No, he didn't save. He just was a hero of science, and I guess here he fight as a fighter pilot. Well, that's a very nice of him. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy it, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notification bells so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. So let's just get right into it. Woo! Good Citizens. Pledge Allegiance. October 12, 1892. Do you know the historical importance of that date? It was Columbus Day. And on that day, 12 million kids in the United States recite the Pledge of Allegiance for the first time. The original pledge was published in the September 8, 1892 issue of a Boston magazine called the Youth's Companion. For years, there was a dispute over who wrote the pledge. Was it James D. Upham or Franz Bellamy? Both were members of the magazine's staff. Bellamy's son gathered documents and statements to prove that his father was the pledge author. It paid off. In 1939, the United States Flag Association decided that Bellamy deserved the credit. The original version of the pledge: I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Changes to the pledge. In 1923, at the first National Flag Conference, the word "my flag" were changed to the flag of the United States of America. Congress officially recognized the Pledge of Allegiance in 1942. On Flag Day in 1954, President DeWitt D. Eisenhower suggested adding the word "under God." Congress agreed, and the phrase was added. Becoming a citizen. Citizens of the United States have certain rights and responsibilities when people move to the United States from other countries. They do not automatically become American citizens. They must meet certain requirements. They must fill out an application with the Immigration and the Nationalization Service. They must meet certain requirements such as being able to read, write, and speak ordinary English. They must also pass a test on history and government of the United States. After they become citizens, they have right to vote and hold public office. Top 5 states with the most Hispanics. There are more than 30 million Hispanic people living in the United States. Every year, Hispanic Heritage Month begins on September 15, which marks the date when 5 Latin American countries gained independence: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. An American hero flies again. How did one astronaut help science twice? The idea of a person flying into space was a dream until 1950s. That's when United States and Soviet Union scientists began a space race to make the dream a reality. The Soviet Union pulled ahead, launching 2 satellites, Sputnik 1 and Sputnik 2. In space, 1957, the U.S. needed a plan to catch up. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, was formed to put an astronaut into space. John Glenn would be that astronaut. The mission to get manned spacecraft into orbit was called Project Mercury. Scientists at NASA raced to get a spacecraft ready for launch. But Soviet Union beat the US again. When Yuri Gagarin, a Soviet cosmonaut, orbited Earth in 1961. 10 months later, Glenn climbed aboard the 10-foot-long Friendship 7 and became the first American to circle Earth in spacecraft. The U.S. had finally caught up with the Soviet Union in the space race. Glenn's flight lasted only 4 hours, 55 minutes, 23 seconds from liftoff to touchdown back to Earth. During that time, Glenn orbited Earth 3 times. It was a historical mission. However, this was not the end of the space race. The next step was getting the first person on the moon. Glenn worked on the cockpit layout and control function on the Apollo project. His effort helped get U.S. astronaut Neil Armstrong to the moon on July 20, 1969. He was already a hero when he served his country as a fighter pilot in World War II. But at NASA, Glenn was a hero to science. After leaving NASA, Glenn served his country as a U.S. Senator. Then, in 1998, at the age of 77, Senator Glenn would get his chance to help science again. Discovery mission. NASA scientists needed to find out the best way to study the effect of aging on the body. They needed a qualified older astronaut who was healthy enough to make a trip. That person would also launch a spacecraft to study the heat and the wind surrounding the sun. Again, Glenn was chosen. On the board STS-95 Discovery, Glenn wore monitors on his chest and had to measure changes in his heartbeat and brainwaves. As people grow older, they experience physical problems. These include losing their balance and even losing some muscles. The condition in space have similar effect on astronauts. Studying how Glenn affected by space travel would help scientists understand aging better. Ready, set, blast off! Glenn wasn't automatically accepted for the 1998 mission. First, he had to pass physical tests to make sure he was healthy enough. Then, he had months of preparation. One of the requirements was the ability to save himself in case of an emergency. Glenn admits he was quicker than the rest of the crew. "I don't bend the same direction they bend," he said. As Glenn got ready to board Discovery, thousands of excited fans cheered him on. Among them were Daniel and Zach Glenn, the astronaut's grandsons. "It's a little scary," admitted Dan, 16, "but pretty neat that he went up so long ago and is now going up again." Zach, 13, said, "He's a great guy. He's a really nice grandpa. He's an American hero. There's no dispute about that." Okay guys, so this story was like one of very short videos, but I think it's still very interesting because the first one is Pledge Allegiance, which for me was, it's a story and stuff and that stuff all, but my favorite part is An American Hero Flies Again. That was my favorite part because it was super fun for me to read and to learn how this man, John Glenn, is a hero. So yeah, I think it was very fun, and I'll see you in the next video.